You can almost hear St. Peter saying, "Another damn Canaanite." Who were the Canaanites? Well, if you remember from your Bible study, they were the people that the Jews drove out of the Holy Land before they settled there. But they didn't go away. They stayed around, and they stayed safely outside the territory of the Jews. But Jesus was crossing the boundaries in this episode, and he ran into a Canaanite woman. It's interesting to listen to the other readings today because they're all built on a theme. The first reading tells us the prophet is saying to the people, your job is to be a light that will attract all people towards the one God, away from the multiple gods of the pagans. And all these people will come streaming to Jerusalem to worship the one God. And so often in the course of their history, the Jewish people forgot that vocation, which is exactly the same vocation of the church. Jesus said, you are a city on a hill, meant to be seen, meant to attract. You're a light on a candlestick to light up the room so that everybody will be attracted to the light. But we all, unfortunately, seem to have our own Canaanites. People that we want to keep at a distance if we have to meet them at all. Might be members of our own family that we don't really get along with and want to keep at a safe distance. Might be people from another racial group who aren't like us. Might be people who come streaming into our country from other parts of the world where they're afraid for their life or starving to death. We all have our Canaanites. We all have people that we're tempted to keep at arm's length, which is exactly the opposite of what a Christian disciple is supposed to do. A Christian disciple, like Jesus himself, is to come with open arms, welcoming all. And even the church sometimes succumbs to this temptation. Certain people are just not quite welcome in the parish. Some people are not quite welcome in the church at large. Fortunately, everybody in the church doesn't succumb to this temptation at the same time, and therefore these people sometimes find themselves welcome, as well as other times find themselves unwelcome. I think the big question for Christians today, especially Christians in the first world where we live, is to ask ourselves the serious question, who are my Canaanites? And what am I going to do for them? Because there are no groups of people who are outside the inclusive arms of the Lord, as Jesus showed with this Canaanite woman. And therefore there are no peoples, our Canaanites, who are outside the embrace of Christian discipleship.